Hey everyone, it's Jonna, and in this video I am going to review the new Nars Sheer Glow foundation that I purchased recently. I got it in the color Barcelona, which is a medium 4. I've been looking for a new foundation for a while, just wanting to kind of try what's out there, and I was going to try the Makeup Forever HD foundation, but after watching the videos of the SP Nation, who by the way is fabulous, you need to check him out if you haven't already, and also Sidera Superstar, who is also amazing. She is just a bombshell, so definitely check her out as well. But anyway, after watching those two gurus' videos about the Nars Sheer Glow foundation, I decided it was something that I just had to try. So I ordered it from Sephora online. What I'm going to do is go through some various categories or criteria with which I would evaluate the quality of a foundation and then give it a score from 1 to 5 in each of those categories, 1 being shitty and 5 being amazing. So the first category is packaging, and this comes in a glass container, 1 fluid ounce, and this cap is kind of a matte black cap like that is on a lot of the Nars products. And one thing I don't like about it is when you close it, it never quits turning. So you never really feel like you know if you got the product completely securely closed or not. The only thing I like about the packaging is the way it looks. It does look classy, just the Nars logo here on it with the black cap, and that's all we've got there. So it looks nice, but everything else about it is pretty much crap. I don't like having the glass jar. You have to worry about traveling, breaking it, all kinds of things like that. Black cap gets dirty easily in your makeup case and gets different dusts and residues all over it and makes it look kind of dingy and gross. And then also, it does not have a pump. So this inside here gets kind of messy, and then you're going to waste a lot of product a lot of the time pouring it out on your hand or wherever to get it out because you don't have a pump. Packaging, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. The next category I'm going to talk about is price and kind of is it worth it. So this foundation was $42, and I don't have a problem spending $42 on a makeup item or a foundation if it's going to be like freaking mind-blowing, but to me it's not. It's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's $42 good for 1 fluid ounce. I have another foundation by Clinique that costs $19.50 for the same amount, which I feel is just as good or better than this foundation. So for price, again, I'm also going to give it a 2 out of 5. The next category I wanted to talk about is application. And with some foundations I find that they end up looking the same, whether I apply them with a brush, a regular foundation brush, a stippling brush, my fingers, a makeup sponge, you know, it ends up looking the same, good or bad, whatever it may be, they look the same no matter what method I use. Which is kind of nice because sometimes when you're in a hurry, really all you have time to do is slap it on with your fingers and you want it to look good. So with this foundation, I've found for me, and I've experimented with it for over a month now, that the only way I feel it looks good is stippled on with a stippling brush. So that kind of limits you, and like if I'm in a hurry in the morning getting ready to go to class or whatever, I don't use this foundation because I can't make it look good unless I have time to stipple it out perfectly. So that makes it a little time consuming, but once you do stipple it on and blend it out with a stippling brush or a flat top brush, it does look great. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 on application. The next thing I'm going to talk about is coverage. So this foundation, it's called Sheer Glow. So most people are going to think that it is going to give you this dewy look or be really natural or really sheer. And to me, this is a medium to full coverage foundation. So the name of it is kind of deceiving. But for coverage for me, I like a medium to full coverage foundation. So I think the coverage is phenomenal. I don't get a lot of sleep during school, and I have a lot of the dark purple circles under my eyes, and I find that with this foundation I can really minimize the amount of concealer that I need to use after I use this foundation because it does cover things up so well. So for coverage, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. My next criterion is longevity. And for me, when I talk about longevity, I mean like when you go into the bathroom at work or at school at lunchtime or toward the end of the day and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh God, what happened to my face, you know? So I've got dogs fighting all around me, sorry. I'm at home for the holidays and we've got my dogs and my mom's dogs all around being crazy, so excuse all of the rambunctiousness and barking. And anyhow, longevity. So how does this foundation look after it's been on your face for hours and hours? And with this one, I do notice, I feel like it does settle in some fine lines around the eyes, around the mouth with the laugh lines, and also for me, even when I use a primer and a moisturizer underneath, I find that I start to look a little dry and stretched out in the forehead areas and areas where you might normally get dry, and that I don't really like at all. I feel like with this foundation I'm always wanting to spray more Fix Plus or blend it out a little more if it's been worn for hours and hours, because I find spots that look way too dry and I find spots where it's settled into lines and such, and I don't like that at all. So for longevity, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. So lastly is our overall look or overall opinion of this foundation, and I don't know. I really wanted to love this foundation. I mean, like I said, some gurus that I really respect their opinions and think they're awesome have really loved this foundation, but I'm going to say it's like not my end-all be-all sort of foundation. I still have a foundation from Clinique, which I will review in the near future, which I feel beats this foundation hands down at half the price. When I first apply it, it does look great and it does feel great and feels very light on my skin, but with, you know, going into later in the day, it's looking dry, it's looking dull and settling into fine lines, and that's just not acceptable for me when I'm spending $42 on a foundation. So I don't know. I'm really disappointed in this foundation because I really wanted to love it. But I don't. I just like it. I'm not in love with it. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for my overall opinion of the foundation. And it might work for you, so don't just go off my opinion alone. Watch all the other people's videos on this foundation too and see what you think. But I would say when you go in the store, maybe have one of the makeup artists there put this on you and then leave and wear it all day and see how it wears on you before you fork out $42 for a foundation. So that's just my 2 cents. So if you've tried this foundation and you like it or you hate it or you're just kind of so-so on it like I am, definitely leave a comment below because I'd love to hear your opinions, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.